What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another T-Series showcase. For today, I have nothing to showcase. Why do I have nothing? Well, that's because I've already sent out the items that I am going to be showcasing in a second part to this video. So future me will come in later on to tell you about what comes in. But for now, present me, hi, is going to tell you what happened. So, for those who don't know, in October, so this month, so I'm doing this October 1st, by the way. This month, the Certified Guarantee Company, also known as the CGC, is hosting a private signing event. So, they also will be grading comics. So on this, you've seen the background in some of my videos. This is my Tales of Suspense number 12. This comic is beat up beyond belief, but the important part is that this is signed by Stan Lee. Sorry about the reflection, by the way. And it is authenticated, signed, yellow label, CGC. Now, in some of my Pokemon videos, you've probably noticed that my New Mutants 98 Deadpool comic has gone missing. It went from being a Gyarados to some Disney keys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this guy in the background here. This is my New Mutants 98, signed by Rob Liefeld, right there, and authenticated back in 2016. It was actually on, November 12th, 2016. This is a 9.8 comic, and it's worth around $1,200. This comic is not with me, and hasn't been with me for a couple weeks now, because I sent it out to this event, as well as 2 other comics, and I will show you those. This one I'm showing off first, because you've seen this comic in my videos. I've talked about this comic in my videos. This is a very important comic to me. I'm really hoping to get it back in one piece. So what's going to happen? I send this out, and the CGC will get it. They've already gotten it too. That's the thing. I've seen the confirmation. They sorted it. They're just waiting for this event day. Now, this is already signed by Rob Liefeld, who's the main artist. The secondary artist, Fabian Necieza, I believe it is. He's a secondary artist. That's one of the people at this event. So my Deadpool comic is going to have both artist signatures on it and authenticated for both of them. So what's the point of this video? I'm not trying to brag. We're going to do a Guess the Grade video. Yes. So we're going to play Guess the Grade on this comic, as well as 2 others. Now this one is already a 9.8. If you can look really closely there, you can kind of see there was some whitening in the corners, which meant that, not so much that one, that's meant that it wasn't perfect. That's something important you'll get to in this video. It's also the newsstand edition, which is this barcode right here. The regular edition, or the direct edition, would have, you can kind of see it in the background there with this one that I'm pointing at right here, and this one here, they have that little logo. It's Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man. The direct editions had a little logo instead because they just went straight to a comic book store. The newsstand were at newsstands, and you pick them up off the shelf. These are harder to get higher grades on. The fact that this is a 9.8 already is amazing. However, these aren't meant to be reopened. There can be damage to this comic. So this is kind of an oddball one. I would love for it to come back a 9.8 with signature. But if I'm going to guess on this one, just in case, I'm going to say it's going to come back as a 9.6. I'm not spending too much time on this one because it already has been graded once. But I'm guessing this is going to be a 9.6, guys. Comment below what you think that this was going to come back at. So this one is okay. The next one, I'm going to actually save that one for last, is my Thor 337. This is the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. If you don't know Beta Ray Bill, he was one of the only other people to be able to lift Thor's hammer in the comics and really surprise Thor. Now, obviously, if you watch Endgame, spoiler, Captain America can lift the hammer, yes. There's a plethora of other people who have been able to lift the hammer, like Hulk. Hulk did it out of pure strength. Loki's been able to. Hela could. Obviously, Odin could. There's been a bunch of people to be able to wield the hammer. Jane Foster as well. But Beta Ray Bill was one of the ones that kind of shocked Thor the most. Now, with this comic, it's hard because it's white, but what you can't see is that in the corner, it is a little pushed in. It's a little frayed. It is another newsstand comic, so that's good. This corner as well is a little bit pushed in as well. Other than that, there's no folds or anything on any of these comics, unlike like the Stan Lee one that you saw. Another prime example, just how the pages are coming apart there. On the back of it, you can see how the staples are like deteriorating almost. There might even be missing pages, honestly. But yeah. So this Beta Ray Bill comic, I'm being very conservative, maybe, with my grade here. I don't really know if that's even the right word, but I'm going with an 8. Because the only other thing that's not shown here that I wish I took a picture of, which might decrease the value even more. Remember how in newspapers, where when you get to the bottom of the newspaper, sometimes the ink leaked and it left like the 4 little lines at the bottom? Actually, you know what? Hold on. So like this, when you would get through the printing press and all of a sudden you see like those lines at the bottom like that. Well, this comic has that, unfortunately, in one of the pages. So I don't know if that's going to decrease the value or not, but I'm going with an 8. By the way, I forgot to mention, this one is getting signed by Walt Simonson. So it'll get signed, it'll get graded, and it's going to come back in one of these hard plastic capsules with the yellow label. That's number 2. That's probably the... I'm keeping that one, definitely. I love Beta Ray Bill, and the fact of the matter that, you know, it's his first appearance, and it's a key issue. It's great. If it comes back at a 8, I'll be fantastic. It'll be fantastic. This is a 3, the Stan Lee one, and I'm super psyched about that one. Other than the Stan Lee one, that's for personal issues, the lowest grade I have is my Miss Marvel number 1. It's over there. It's a 7. I got that last year. This is my last one. Omega Men. Number 3, the first appearance of Lobo. Now, this is going to be getting signed by Keith Griffin. Now, if you don't know Lobo, Lobo is kind of like a space mercenary guy. He appeared in Injustice, the first game. He's kind of just... I don't know. Like I said, he's a space outlaw, essentially. So, this is a good book for him. Now, here's the thing. If you look at that corner, nothing. 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 And nothing. There's no pushes in the corners. I flipped through all the pages. There's nothing wrong with these pages, guys. This book is in almost perfect condition. It's even more so than my New Mutants, which had that little bit of whitening in the corner. Now, I don't grade. I don't know what they're looking at, because on these it says off-white pages. For my 9.4 Amazing Spider-Man 300, it says white pages. For my Deadpool comic, it says white pages. That's it. It doesn't break it down as to what the issues with the comic are. So, with this one, I'm going high. 9.9. So I'm going to write all these down on this paper. I'm going to hold these papers until I get the books back. So I said 9.6 for Deadpool. I said a 8 on the dot for Beta Ray Bill. I'm going 9.9 for Omega Men. Now, when these come in, these papers are going to get put off to the side over here. I will hold on to those, for that way I know what I thought for myself. These comics are getting signed the 26th of this month, so I still have another 25 days before these get signed. And then they take about 2 weeks to get graded. And I won't get it back until after. I probably won't get these back till Christmas. So there's going to be a huge time gap between now, with me in this video, and future Matt, who will be showing off these comics. And, you know, from there just determining if we were right on our guesses or not. I will post on my social media accounts the pictures of these comics, and I'll say I sent them out to get graded. I'll give the same picture that everyone has, so that way they can zoom, and they can see for themselves and guess on Facebook as well. now or Instagram or wherever. Obviously, I won't know right now. This present me won't know what future me knows. I won't know anything. This video is going to be one of my longer videos on this channel. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand over the future Matt, and he's going to tell you what we got on these grades. Go ahead. Welcome back, everyone. It's been 2 months, but guess what? My comics are back, and they are graded and signed. Now, I have not opened these, because I wanted to share with you guys everything that came in. Now, the first part of this video was me explaining through these papers right here that I was sending out 3 books to get graded. And they are New Mutants 98, Thor 337, and Omega Man number 3. Omega Man 3 is first Lobo, Thor is first Beta Ray Bill, and New Mutants 98 is first Deadpool. Now, I still have my paperwork for 2 months later with the names of the creators that signed them, the grades that I anticipated to come back at, and I even now printed out the most current price guide for graded comics. So, I'm ready for this. I've been waiting 2 months for these to come back. I got 2 of them in the mail 2 days ago, and one of them just came back today. So I've been waiting. So we're going to get into each one of these one by one and see if we were right guessing the grades, and go from there. So I'm going to try in a way to not spoil each one of these. So they are boxed, they are bubble wrapped, they are put in cardboard. Okay, so here's the first one, and this looks like it is Beta Ray Bill. Okay. It is rubber banded, it is everything. So, the best way of me doing this is to, gonna hold it up like this. So, Beta Ray Bill, it's right here. It is signed by Walt Simonson. I projected that it was going to be an 8 back in October. Now, an 8 graded is worth $81. So let's see. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera, and I'm going to actually remove it from this plastic before looking. I'm not looking. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. It's an 8.5. So that's even higher than what I thought it would be. Wow, that looks really good inside the case. So an 8.5, first Beta Ray Bill, Walt Simonson story, cover and art. You can see it right there. Thor 337, Marvel Comics 1183, so November of 83. Signed by Walt Simonson on November 12th, 2020. And things with the CGC is that if you look up that number, you can verify everything. And also the grade is on the back right there, as well as everything. But, oh my god, it came back in 8.5. It's white page. The thing with this is that unless you go and look up why, it won't tell you right here. But obviously, like, there's a little discoloration right there. But other than that, this is a very, very good condition. Now, an 8.5. So the 8 was worth graded 81. An 8.5, if you look, it's right there, is worth $110. So it's sent in $50, or excuse me, $75 to get it signed and graded. $110 it is worth. This is a profit for me, but this is personal collection. I'm super psyched about that one. So that is the first one down, and I still have 2 more to go. Now, ideally, I want to leave Deadpool for last. And the reason why was because the Deadpool comic was already signed and graded before. It was already signed by Rob Liefeld, and it was a 9.8 when I had it originally. The issue being is that if you have a graded comic already, and you send it off to get opened up, signed, and regraded, there is a chance that it can come back at a lower grade. That is because it could be that it could have been damaged when taking it out of the capsule. It could be... This one has a ton. Holy. It could have been damaged out of the capsule, like I said. It could have been... That is Lobo. Someone else grading it that day just wasn't being too nice with the grading. You never know. So this is the Lobo. So Lobo, I came in and said, realistically, which is probably not going to happen, I said it was going to be a 9.9 because I thought that it was in great condition. A 9.9 is worth $336. Now, I don't know if it will be that or not. I thought it was in great condition, but here we go. Oh, right. Beforehand, Lobo is going to be signed by Keith Griffin. 1, 2, 3. A 9. Okay. I was a little off. So it is a Roger Silver story, Keith Griffin and Mike DeCarlo cover and art. Omega Man #3, DC Comics. Signed by Keith Griffin on 11/13/20, which was a different date. First appearance of Lobo. And there's the autograph. I don't know if I actually really show the autograph with the Beta Ray. Excuse the link. There it is. Nice autograph right there. All the noise in the background. Sorry. Alright, so a 9, which I thought this was actually in like better condition than the Deadpool comic was. But apparently I was way off. And Tron. Loved that movie. Alright, so the Mega Man #3 at a 9 is worth a lot less. So there it is, 9, which is the, oops, excuse me, that gray line right here is worth $81. So not super fantastic. It ends up being, is it more? I can't remember. It is less than the Beta Ray Bill. But again, it was $75 to get it graded, sent in and graded and everything. So I still make money off of it, not as much as I wanted, but it's, you know, that one I'm not sure if I'm keeping or not, just because I'm never huge on DC. I'm more of a Marvel person. You can't really see all my comics back there now, but there's only a handful of DC comics, but not bad. And now it is time for my New Mutants 98 to come back home. I've been missing it in a few of my Pokemon card openings where the camera is facing toward all my comics. So it will be very nice to have it back. This one I'm nervous about because here's the thing. I had this, like I said, already graded, and it was a 9.8. And here is the proof. Now, this was already signed by Rob Liefeld, like I said, but it's getting signed by Fabian Nicieza, if I pronounce that right. I predicted it's going to come back at a 9.6. I'm degrading it. If it comes back at the 9.8, the current value on it is $1,114. If it ends up being a 9.6, it's $898. So you can see there's a big drop in this if it does not come back where it was. So, without further ado, 1, 2, 3. 9.8. And that's right, I paid for a special label. It came back at the 9.8. I'm so happy it came back at the same. I paid for this extra Deadpool one. It says 9.9 please, but they gave me a 9.8. So that's Rob Liefeld right there. That's Fabian right underneath. Oh, thank you. Alright. So, plastic on there. So, New Mutants 98, signed by Rob Liefeld on, when did I get this? 11/12/2016, signed by Fabian on 11/12/20. Wow, okay, I didn't even realize that this was exactly 4 years later that I got this signed again. That's fantastic. So the thing with this one, where the picture here, the information's on the back instead. So you can see right there that it says Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza story, Rob Liefeld cover art. So I have both of them on there now. First appearance of Deadpool, Wade Wilson, Gideon, and Copycat Vanessa Carlsey as Domino. Richter leaves the New Mutants. All that information there. Wow. So I got my 9.8 back. It's worth $1,115 almost dollars. So $75 plus I had to regrade it. So we're talking like $85 to get this back. But this is worth so much more than what it's listed as, because now it has both people on there, and I'm excited that this came back as it was. But I've been waiting 2 months for these. The Beta Ray Bill, I couldn't be happier with the grade. I thought it was going to be lower. Stoked for that one. That's not going anywhere. The Omega Man 3, yes, I'm disappointed it wasn't as high, because I'm looking at it, and like, even just looking at it, it still looks mostly, okay, maybe a little bit off, but it still looks almost in better condition than the Deadpool. But what can you do? And then finally, my New Mutants 98 that I've owned now for 5 years. Took a few months away from me, but it's back right before Christmas. Can't be happier. Guys, that is it for this video. This is the 2-part video that just came to an end 2 months later, and what a way to end this. If you like this video, guys, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, that way you know whenever I post a new video. Check out the links below for my various social media accounts and mystery boxes I do, and the link to the Teasers Collectibles eBay page, which is my business. Until next time, guys, I hope you have a great night.